Yeah. I'd like to welcome everybody to my podcast. I am your gracious host, Jupiter 9. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody for support. Thank everybody for, for sharing my content. Know what I mean? But in today's podcast, we're going to talk about podcasting. Why not? I'm podcasting. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about podcasting and how you can get into podcasting. It's very simple to get in podcasting today. You don't need any equipment. You don't need to buy anything to get started. And all you do is get started. I think that's the biggest thing you can do is getting started. Is the biggest thing. If you want to be a podcaster, a true podcaster, not somebody who talks on YouTube, that's not really podcasting to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, podcasting is, being on an actual podcasting platform and being on other podcasting platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher is another podcast. iHeart is another one. It's a bunch of podcasting platforms that you can put your content on very easily through your RSS feed, and you can spread your podcast out to other podcasting platforms. Very easy to get started. It just takes you, having to the goal and ambition, and you having content that people want to listen to. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Be interesting, be innovative, be creative, be animated. You know what I'm saying? Keep people attention as much as you possibly can. Talk about things in your life. You can talk about things you're passionate about. You can talk about things like investing. You can talk about affiliate marketing if you're good with that. You can talk about, movies if you're good at reviewing movies. It's a lot of topics you can talk about. If you're someone who likes to travel, you can talk about travel, places to travel to, or you can travel to those places and you can go around and interview people. That's another way people, like to do podcasting, by interviewing people. There's so many ways you can do it. You can podcast about sports. You know what I'm saying? Podcasting is still in its early infant stages. If you were going to do it, I would do it right now while it's still early. And it's a lot of people doing it, but it's not like, with YouTube and these other platforms where it's hundreds of millions of people doing it, maybe billions. And that's a lot of competition you have to go through, where you might get on a podcasting platform. It might be 10 million or 50 million. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. 50 million is big difference from, a billion or 500 million. Big difference as far as like competition and your voice being heard. So it's real easy to do. I started out podcasting about probably like 2 years ago on another platform, and everything was going well with that platform, but they ended up deleting my show for no reason. I never understood why. They never really gave me a reason why. And I might have an idea. I had a name in another podcasting platform on that same platform. Kind of had a similar name, or it was like the same name, and they thought that I had two shows going on that platform, and I guess they deleted my platform, but still they didn't really never give me an answer. So I decided to move my show over here. But like I said, podcasting can be fun. It can be, a lot of fun, if you like sharing content, if you like sharing information with people, if you like helping people, you know what I'm saying? I think that podcasting is something you might want to look into. Like I said, you don't have to invest no money to get started. You can just podcast right from your phone, or you can podcast from your computer, your laptop. If you don't have a laptop, you can do it right from your phone. It's just that simple. And you can download your shows, you know what I'm saying? Each show that I do, I make sure I download them all, and save them all, because I can take them same shows that I have downloaded and move them to another platform and build an audience on a different platform. You want to be on multiple platforms. You just don't want to stick with just one platform. You want to be, on multiple platforms. You know what I'm saying? Spotify, all the top definitely platforms you want to be on. Amazon podcasting as well. You want to be on all these platforms and putting your show on all these platforms. Now, you can do it through the RSS feed, but I noticed that wouldn't be the best thing to do if, to have your show ran through a RSS feed, just in case, your show gets taken down for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I would just, take every show and upload it to a different platform. You know what I'm saying? That way, if your show is taken out for any reason at all, hopefully you get a warning before they take down your show. You know what I'm saying? You'll still have it on other platforms. And then, because when you do it through the RSS feed, and your show's taken off from the main source of that RSS feed, then it won't stay on all the other platforms. It'll be taken down there too over time. So I learned that as well with my last show being deleted. You know what I'm saying? What else, man? Just be you, man. Just be you. Just say what's on your mind, and don't try to do something different from that. You know what I'm saying? Try to be somebody different, or don't be too robotic with your message, man. You know what I'm saying? Just talk like you talking on the phone, or you talking to a friend or whatnot, and just talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't be robotic with your message. I don't even write anything down, man. I just come off the head with my shows. I think that I sort of take the approach that Big and Jay took far as like, when they made music. They didn't write anything down either. You know what I'm saying? And look at the great music that they made, Jay and Big. So I think that if you write it down and then you read off the paper, it don't come out properly. It come out kind of robotic, and it don't feel natural. So so that's why I just try to come off the head with it. You know what I'm saying? And just speak. But the main thing you want to do is just get started. Don't be afraid. Just go ahead and get started. If you really want to do this, go ahead and do it. Like I said, I decided to do it 2 years ago, and I love it, man. I love podcasting. I love sharing information with people. You know what I mean? I think that podcasting is what radio was before, TV, like television, came into everybody's household. You know what I'm saying? Podcasting is that, before TV, people would just listen to the radio, and they would use their imagination on what that person looked like and all that stuff. So, that's why I see podcast is. It's radio, what radio was back in the day. That's all podcasting is to me, you know what I'm saying? But just more advanced. Yeah, more advanced. And a lot easier to get your voice heard to not only just here in the United States, but to other countries as well, who are interested in, hearing what life's like in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Because you might have one perception of what a country is like, and it might be a totally different perception. You know what I'm saying? Just like they paint a picture of Africa being like this, underdeveloped country, and, not having the luxuries of what you have in the United States. That may be true to a certain point, but I've seen videos of people going to Africa and, not only enjoying themselves, but noticing that it's way more modern than what they thought. There's way more things to do than what they thought. And it's not underdeveloped in a lot of areas in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the spots I definitely want to go visit is Africa. I have some places that I want to go to and visit, and Africa is definitely one of them. You know what I'm saying? Tanzania is another one. Fiji is another one. I also want to go to France. There's a lot of places I want to go to. You know what I'm saying? Germany. I would love to go to Germany. You know, people are leaving and going to Germany and saying they're having a great time out in Germany. Where else, man? Where else? I would love to visit like the Dominican Republic, Brazil, Haiti. You know what I'm saying? What else? Jamaica, of course. All the island places. I want to go to Guam. Where else? I want to go to the Virgin Islands. You know, there's a lot of places I want to go to. But podcasting can be something that can be very fun for you. You know, the goal is to, you know, if you have a tough time, you know, coming up with show ideas, you can always go on Google and type in podcasting show ideas and then just researching the topic. That's one way I come up with some of the shows, and that helped me. Sometimes I get stuck with show ideas. I would just put them in Google, and you will find like different articles on like show ideas. That's one way to do it, to get show ideas. But you know, if you do it right, you know what I'm saying, podcasting can also be lucrative too as well. You know, I don't do it for the money of it. You know what I'm saying? I do it for the love of it, the love of podcasting. You know what I'm saying? I believe that if you love what you do, that all the financing and the monies and all that good stuff will come with it, you know. But it can be very lucrative. Like Joe Rogan is a cat that, you know, started out on YouTube. I don't know if he has this show on other platforms, but I'm sure he does. But Joe Rogan is like a huge podcaster, man. He makes $15 million a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you do your show right and you touch on topics that people want to hear, or if you touch on topics that people don't really know about, podcasting can be very, very lucrative for you. You know what I'm saying? Again, Joe Rogan makes $15 million and he has 3 workers, and he makes $15 million a year from podcasting. Directly from podcasting, nothing else. I don't know if he's doing anything else outside of that. But I mean, do you really need to do anything else outside of that when you're making $15 million a year from podcasting? I mean, it can be very lucrative if you do it right. You know what I'm saying? If you can do a show without all the extra cursing and all that stuff, I mean, if you can keep it clean, you know, advertisers are going to want to advertise on your platform, you know, on your shows that you know, upload, you know. Advertisers do not want to be attached to someone who has a lot of profanity going on in their shows. You got to try to keep your show clean, the best of your ability. And I'm just trying to give you guys some tips and pointers about podcasting and what I've learned over the 2 years of what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Keeping your show clean too as well. Now, don't be cussing a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you let one slip, that's okay, but don't be cussing a lot throughout your show. Try to keep as clean as possible, because if you want to, you know, monetize your show, that's what you know. At the end of the day, it's not about money, but you want to be compensated for your time that you put into each and every show. Especially do a lot of time on research and show ideas. You know what I'm saying? You want compensated for, you know, your time and effort, you know. So try to keep your show clean as possible. That'd be another advice I give to you. You know, try to do shows that, you know, you can have a niche show where you just talk about, you know, how to make money online, or, you know, investing in crypto. You know what I'm saying? Or you can do, you know, me personally, I try to do, I really don't have a niche show. I just try to do topics that I'm interested in. You know, I really can't stick with one niche because, you know, I get kind of bored, and I want to talk about more things than just that one thing. So I do different types of topics, you know. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to just do the one, if you're really good at, you got a lot of information, a particular niche, then, you know, you want to stick to that. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing too, as well, if you got the extra bread, don't be afraid to invest in getting your show out and getting your show heard, through paying for paid advertising. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like on Facebook or anything like that, or YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Using pay-per-click or something like that to get your show out. That'll help as well. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself in paid advertisement to get your show, heard, by the world, because the world wants to hear what you gotta say. You might not think that your life is very interesting, when it comes to, content, but, there's people out there that, can connect with you, that's going through the same thing you're going through, and, you'll be surprised how much your show can help somebody who's going through the same thing you're going through. You'll be surprised how many people are going through the same thing you're going through, or experience some of the things you went through in life. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, invest money in yourself. You know what I'm saying? I see it as an investment. I don't see it as spending money. What else, man? And yeah, just stay true to you, man. Anybody can do this, man. Anybody can do this. Hard work beats out a person that has talent any day of the week. If you work hard at it, all the things you want out of podcasting will come, you know what I'm saying? But you got to work hard at it, man. You can't put out a show once in a while and expect people to come listen to you. You have to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is another thing too as well. You have to be consistent as possible. If you do a show on Monday at 7 p.m., you have to stick with that time slot. You know what I'm saying? You have to treat it like it's one of those TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Like a TV show. You know what I'm saying? How TV shows were like when you were coming up as a kid. I'm 45 now, so you know how TV shows were like a really big thing back in the 90s and in the 80s. You waited. When Martin was on the air, and you waited for that new episode to come out every week. I feel like doing a show once every week is very effective. I don't think you need to do no more than 2 shows a week, because then your audience will start to you will oversaturate your audience with content. You know what I'm saying? So I think once a week works well for me. Especially doing like with my schedule and all that, and once a week works perfectly. Like I can do a show once a week, do my show for the week, and then I'm done for the rest of the week. Then I can work on and research other content ideas for my show throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? So once a week works pretty well for me. I don't know. It depends on your schedule. If you have a job, if you don't have a job. I know a guy who lost his job. And he started podcasting. He started out, podcasting on the regular. And the first month, nothing didn't happen. Second month, nothing didn't happen. And then nothing didn't start to pop off until he was like 5 or 6 months in of just consistently putting out content. And he at the time he lost his job, so he had nothing but time on his hands to, put out content. So make a long story short, a year in, he's bringing in like 40,000 a year just from podcasting. You know what I'm saying? I think it's 35 or 40,000 just from being consistent with his show, him getting the sponsorships, and him growing his audience. He makes like $2,000 off of his Spotify listens, and then he makes another almost 1,000 a week or something like that off his show that's on his podcast platform. And another thing you want to do too as well, man, it's going to be very helpful, is you got to build a blog. You know what I mean? You got to build a blog and add all your episodes to your blog. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have not only your podcast on the podcast platform, but you'll also have it on a blog where people can find your podcast as well. So now if you get on a platform that will spread your podcast out to different platforms at once, some platforms will, distribute your podcast to 5 platforms. Some podcast platforms will distribute your podcast to 10 platforms, and some will distribute it to 11. It depends on what podcast platform you use. You know what I'm saying? And some are free and some are not free. You know what I'm saying? Some are free and you can join those that are free, and you can, over time you can get considered for like sponsorships and make money from sponsorships. And some are not free and you have to pay in order to be part of the sponsorship program. So a lot of platforms are different, it depends on which one you're doing. And some platforms don't give sponsorships, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't give sponsorships, but a lot of them will give you exposure, A lot of them give you huge exposure and no sponsorships, and some of them give you sponsorships and decent exposure. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, you have to be mindful of that too as well. Because, at the end of the day, you do want to be compensated for your time that you put into your show, man. But like I said, anybody can do this, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can do this. It don't take nobody special. Like I say, just be yourself, man. Be yourself and don't seem too robotic, man. Just, be yourself. Be interesting. Be animated. Just have fun with it, man. That's what I do, man. I just have fun with it. I enjoy doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy doing this. I would definitely rather do this than, punching a clock. I do this all day long. You know what I'm saying? So have fun with it, man. A lot of people, don't want to be on YouTube and make videos. So this is the perfect thing because you don't have to be in front of anybody. So you can, roll out of your bed if you have an idea, and just start recording your show. It's just that simple. They got all these apps now, you know what I mean? You can download, you know what I'm saying? That you can start podcasting today. You know what I'm saying? Right now. While I'm talking, you can be thinking about a podcast show you can do right now. So it's gonna take hard work. It's gonna take consistency. Be consistent. Make sure you podcasting and uploading shows same day, same time, all the time, so people can find you. Like a show. And people know that they can count on you to be on that Monday. The time I do my show is Monday at 7 p.m. So if people know that they can count on you, whether you're doing a show at 7 a.m. in the morning on Monday, or you can do any day. But I choose Monday because it's the beginning of the week. But if they can count on you to be on at that time, they're going to find you. You know what I mean? Be consistent, man. Like I said, Joe Rogan makes $15 million a year. There's cats making $1 million a year. There's cats making hundreds of thousands a year. I mean, it depends on how much work you want to put into it. I mean, if you want to put a lot of work into it, if it's something that's going to be full-time, if it's something that's going to be part-time, it all depends on you. How much time do you have? I know people have families and people are busy with work. And the beauty of podcasting today is that you can record, and then you can record a bunch of shows. Yeah, that too. Record a bunch of shows ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Get you 5-10 shows, on deck. So that way you always stay 5-10 shows ahead. So that way, you don't always have to record your show on Monday. You can just upload a new show and then record another show to replace that show. Always stay 5 to 10 shows ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to do as well. But when I get an idea, I just jump up, press record, and record my idea and just go, when I get an idea. So that's the thing too. If you get an idea, write it down or just go ahead and record it, because if you don't, then you'll be like, oh snap, man, I forgot what idea I was going to have for my show. You know what I'm saying? So, me being the person that I am and, not having the best memory, I like to just go ahead and record my show. You know what I'm saying? Or write it down if I don't have time to record it, or if I'm out and about. I'll just write it down or text it to yourself. If you got an idea for a show, text it to yourself. There's so many ways you can do it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you can do it. It just takes you to go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just get it done. Don't wait. If you got an idea for something, go ahead and do it. You got an idea for a business, just go ahead and do it. Don't wait. Don't sit on the idea, because if you sit on the idea, somebody might take your idea. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, there's somebody out there that's got the same idea that you got, but has the same fear that you have of, not wanting to do it, or they think they can't do it. A lot of people think they can't do it. Fear can hold back a lot of people from succeeding with a lot of stuff. So don't let the fear hold you back. Just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Just say, I'm going to start a podcast show. I don't care what people say. A lot of people said I couldn't do it. A lot of people said that, I want to succeed with podcasting. You know what I'm saying? So you can do it, man. Anything can be done. It just takes you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing special. You think these people who have these big podcast platforms are special? No, they just work hard at it. You know what I'm saying? They work hard at it. You're not going to be able to get away with not working hard at something. You're always going to have to work hard at something in life, whether it's a job, whether it's a business of your own, whether it's a podcast, content creating. You're going to have to work hard. It's going to take effort and time that you put into it, and you're going to have to work hard. There's no way around that. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity just don't fall out the sky. You have to make the opportunity become a reality. And a lot of people don't want to put in that work, but if you're willing to put in the work, that's what anything you do in life, and you're going to get the results that you want from it. Just keep grinding. That's all I can tell you guys. Just keep grinding. Don't stop grinding. Even if you're getting a few plays in the first couple of months, just keep putting out the content. And what's going to happen is it's going to be like a tidal wave. The wave gets bigger and bigger, more content you put out, and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, you got a tsunami. It's just going to go whoosh. And you got 50 episodes in, and that tsunami is going to come in. And before you know it, you're going to have a bunch of listeners, 1,500 listeners, 2,000 listeners. You can be like, yo, I can't believe I'm doing it. And that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, learn SEO too, search engine optimization. You know what I'm saying? Getting those keywords into your podcast show, your title, your description, keywords all through your description. That's very important too. Low competition keywords as well. You don't want to use keywords that already have, a lot of competition in them. You want to use low competition keywords, long tail keywords, all in your titles, description, so people can find your content organically. You know what I'm saying? And if you're on a platform that, it's a big platform, it's going to give you backlinks, and your content is going to be ranked high in Google for those keywords. So you want to get on a platform that, it's a decent sized platform that it can give you the backlinks you're looking for too as well. So make sure you're doing your SEO too for each and every show that you do, having your keywords all in. You don't have to do it that way, but it will definitely help when, people are trying to find your content online through those keywords. You know what I'm saying? Search engine optimization, SEO. Don't forget the SEO. Title and in your description as well. And I think that's about it. And just be consistent, man. Don't stop. Don't stop until you get the results you want. Whether it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, just keep going. Just keep going. You're getting this content build up, and then you got the search engine optimization. You got all these keywords all through your content. And if you're just dealing with one niche podcast show, like a sports show, make sure you got your keywords all through your content. You know what I'm saying? That's another gem I want to give people who want to start a podcast. But I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it, man. And yeah, just pick, if you don't have the bread, pick a platform that's free. It's a couple platforms that's free. You don't even have to pay any money to get started. You know what I'm saying? So rock with those. Again, you don't have to have anything to get started. You don't have to buy anything, and just get going. Start today. So, that is my take in this podcast episode. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Please share this with everybody if you feel this is helpful to you. But that is my take. I am your gracious host, Jupiter9, and I just want to say peace and love to everybody. Take care. One.